frag.
Alright. So, our first boss is Chaos Zero. We can easily manipulate him. Just hit him once, go back here. That forces him to stand up. You attack him. If you stand on his puddle, he'll stand up faster. Basically, and then to manipulate this attack, you just go to the other lamppost, and it'll fall down.
And 1620 it's a time that, you normally get in a run. So the first stage that we're going to go into is Emerald Coast. You actually have two options, because this game operates in a two-camera system. You can either be an auto cam or free cam. So at the start of Emerald Coast, the strat that you saw him do where he jumps off of the island, it can either be done in auto cam or free cam. It's really up to preference. And yeah, that first jump after that checkpoint is a little bit finicky sometimes.
Yeah, it's only in free cam.
The camera really likes to you need to be really careful of where you're using auto cam or using free cam to have.
Yeah, there's certain key places where you have to use a specific camera in order to make the area work better, I guess. So right here is Emerald Coast Act 2. He's just going to be doing double tap spin dashes. Our main movement is to just spin dash very quickly. And it's kind of like a rhythm to do it. You just kind of double tap both B and X, or whatever spin dash buttons.
Just because when you're in your spin dashing, you don't really lose speed. And when you're going down hills, you want to be not spin dash chainy. You want to be just holding a throughout spin dash. Alright. So coming up, I believe, well, there are 3 different routes that you can do for a Sonic story. You can either do linear route, which is as you would do, you would just complete all the levels in regular order, which it looks like R3FR4G is doing. Or you can do task route, which you do casino right after Emerald Coast, or glitched route, which, we can probably get to that later.
About. No, keep that silent. We're gonna keep it silent. So, Egg Hornet is really easy. You're just homing attack into him repeatedly when he comes down. There's actually a funny thing in this game where, because the way the sound files are encoded, it lags the game every time if it plays multiple sounds at once or multiple voices at once.
Yeah.
So a way you can fix this is just delete the files. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it solves a lot of issues where, you can get a one cycle, as you saw, where you can just homing attack and get all 3 hits in one landing of Egg Hornet. But it also helps with certain situations where the game will lag, which is the reason why you can't get a one cycle without having the voice files deleted. But it also solves some lag issues in Twinkle Park and some other stages.
So right here, it's actually faster to throw the object while in the air. It's just faster to let go. And also faster for it to be in the air so it doesn't have to go up. And so right here, we're just going to do a spin dash clip. Nothing out of the usual. It's fine.
Windy Valley, the beginning part can be played in auto or free cam, but going into the tornado section, you want to be in auto cam for a trick that you're going to see shortly.
Please do not go into this part in free cam. So right here is going to do a spin dash jump in order to maintain ball form. And when he lands on that 5th wall pad, you can just hold down, and then once Sonic falls off of it, you can just homing attack onto the spring, skipping the dumb trampoline.
Yeah, see, it's about, 3 seconds, 4 seconds?
So, there's a cool trick here you can do. You can actually skip the loop, but it's a bit tough, and I don't know if R3FR4G's gonna do it.
And he went for it.
Yeah. He went for it. He got screwed over by a scripted section. He didn't go to the left fast enough.
The scripted sections are not coded in favor of the runner. They really like to fight with you.
Right here, if you're in ball form, you can do hovers. And hovers are really cool. I don't know why I didn't set up the camera. Sorry. Hover is just how long you hold the A button for. You you could hold it for a full second, and this game runs at 60 FPS most of the time. And it allows you to maintain your time in the air. And you can also do pause hovers or pause extends, which allow you to maintain the amount of time you can stay in the air for properly. It's cool stuff.
So coming up next, we're gonna have to head to the sewers to get the power sneakers, which allow you to charge up your light dash attack, and we need to grab those to hit the flag so we can enter Casinopolis, which is the next stage.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to explain in Casinopolis.
Yeah.
Anyways, with the light dash, you can also grab an upgrade called the Crystal Ring, and this actually increases your speed with your spin dashes. And doing the task route allows you to get the Crystal Ring after Emerald Coast. Well, not after. You can get it anytime, but it's faster to get after Emerald Coast.
And I think we should also mention.
Save time.
We should also mention before Casino that that's where a glitch route would start, where you can clip into Speed Highway early.
Okay, so right here, you're just gonna do a spin dash, clip through a wall, spin dash hover onto the coins. You have to be on the right side, otherwise you'll hit a kill plane. And then what he does is spin dash off the ramp on the coins, and he just goes back up there.
Casino is by far the most drastically different between a casual experience and what you would do in a speedrunner sim.
So fun facts, the walking speed of Sonic, or the walking speed is faster when carrying an object. But it's not faster than spin dashing, of course.
Alright. So going up into Ice Cap, same thing for Windy Valley, you want to put the key down as close to the center of where it will go, so you can reduce the amount of time the key's floating.
Right there, you don't actually have to jump, you can just hold X and just wait a little while, because Sonic will just do a quick animation. It's kind of faster. So right here, Refrag is just going to jump up here, skipping the first act, most of the first act. Right here, he's going to do a door clip, and you have to have a specific stick angle for this.
And I am so surprised that worked. That was jank as hell.
He wasn't turning his camera, making it a lot more difficult. And right here, he's just gonna go through a wall. There's a specific part of the wall that Sonic can just go through for some reason.
That wasn't a bad clip either. So that was pretty good. And yeah, so you get to skip.
Visual cue.
And you get to skip the entire snowboarding section. You just fall to the end.
Yeah. What else can we explain? Because we're coming up to the boring trio. And that is known as Knuckles, Chaos 4, and Sky Chase. We could explain a little bit about Chaos 4 and how that works. Chaos 4 is a weird boss fight. You can manipulate his attacks in certain ways, but not all. We don't know all the ways to manipulate certain specific attacks. So there's two attacks that we want. Either the wave attack, that's what I'm going to call it, and the splash attack. The splash attack is the fastest. However, with Sonic, you can't get that until the third phase of the fight.
And Chaos's which attack he'll do, whichever attack Chaos 4 will do is based off of your position, like how far away you are to him and how high you are, pretty sure. It's something that's really messed up that nobody can really get down.
The worst attack you can get is blue balls.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it blue balls.
This is brutal, this fight here, because if you hit the boss while he's still flashing, you will hit him, and it will show that you hit him, but he actually doesn't take any damage.
That's why it's better to wait. So anyway, blue balls is bad. That's the wave attack.
Yeah.
It basically loses you a bunch of time, and it actually loses more time in the last phase of the fight for some reason. But yeah. In order to get a better chance of getting the wave attack, you can get close to the edges. You'll get it.
Sometimes.
He's doing pretty well at manipulating.
Yeah.
It seems pretty consistent for the most part. Haven't had any problems with it.
Getting 1 blue balls, it can kill runs when you're trying to grind, because 1 blue balls, that loses like 10 seconds, and then that's just nothing you can do about it. So it's brutal.
Man, no blue balls. Shoutouts to Eatmore.
Shoutouts to Ethmar indeed, man. So for the last 4 hits, it's actually really easy. Like, the manipulation for him is really lenient for getting the splash attack that Dage was talking about.
It's really just medium or far distance and jumping in the air.
Mm. And you'll see the same manipulation later on in a Tail story and Knuckles story.
And
where
Knuckles.
where you just have to fly around and you can get the splash
However,
attack.
in both of those stories, you can get the splash attack at any time.
Yeah.
For some reason, Sonic can only get the wave attack for the first 3 hits. And it's also really easy to manipulate the first attack of Sonic, just jump back.
Alright.
I just thought I'd say that, and there you go.
Now, we get to enter, after beating Chaos 4, the one of 2 in Sonic's story auto-scrollers, known as Sky Chase, which, you have to fly around and you have to shoot stuff and get points, which, you know, I think R3FR4G might actually attempt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is. Look at that.
Yeah.
However, he's playing in widescreen, meaning that his right tile is actually the smallest thing in the world. It's actually the way that sky missions work. That's what I'm gonna call it. It depends on resolution. It's really weird, and it's super hard to hit things at 16:9, especially at high resolutions like 4K or 1080. Now,
what you can do is, if you're, if you want to take a break or something, you can go into essentially any of the corners without a worry dying.
Yeah. Now, way resolutions work in this game, in 4x3, the camera takes less time to turn around. And 640x40 is the most optimal resolution. 16:9 has slower camera turns and stuff like that. So, and there's also another variable in the game settings called clip level. This is view distance. However, view distance can actually make objects disappear in certain levels, like Skydeck and Windy Valley, making the level easier.
Yeah, with less stuff to run into. And there's also another, I guess you could say, aspect of that, but it's just called fog emulation, which is just all, aesthetic, where it doesn't change anything to do with the level geometry, but you'll see, like, in the consoles...
It makes it easier.
Yeah, it makes it easier to see stuff, and there's no fog when you're falling.
But since I'm a cool as heck gamer, I use auto, which is dumb.
Yeah.
Now, since we're talking about configuration, there are 2 mods allowed for this game. One of them is called Camera Code Error Fix, and that fixes just a small section of code in the game that that remembers what camera you have selected.
Yeah, it's a what's the word I'm looking for? Feature that's in the Xbox Live Arcade, and I think the PlayStation 3,
It would be on PlayStation 3.
And the Steam version, where it saves your camera, but it didn't make it into the final game. So we've had to fix that, kind of unearths that code that allows it to be used. Yeah.
And this game is also ancient, so we have another mod that allows X input controllers to be used, as well as direct input controllers that don't work natively.
And
also provides better control.
Oh, and he's actually going to be grabbing the crystal ring that Dage talked about earlier.
This is faster for multiple places. Just for regular speed alone, it actually increases your spin dash charge time, if that makes sense. Or decreases your spin dash charge time, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Allowing you to go faster. And it also saves time in both the entrance to Red Mountain and Chaos 6, especially Chaos 6.
Yeah.
So right here, we're going to go to Twinkle Park, and we're going to use a cart. The most optimal one to get is the light blue cart. That's the Simon cart. How about that? It's the fastest cart, and how the carts work in this game is the more rings you have, the faster you go. And Refrag's actually
Ooh, that track skip was really nice. That can really kill runs sometimes trying to get that. Oh, Andy skipped all of the jump pads.
Meh. But anyway, yeah, just gotta be careful with turning. There's certain ways you can get around corners easier, but it kind of requires a bit more looking into, if that makes sense. So yeah, track skip, basically you fly off on a rail, the side of the road, and you kind of just fling yourself off onto the next part, or the part below, saving like 7 seconds. Okay, I'll talk more about track skip after roller coaster skip, which I don't know if he's gonna get. Nice. I hate anime. I just had to put that out there.
Shout out to Etmar.
Shout out to Etmar. So that's roller coaster skip. You basically skip the entirety of the of Act 2. It's cool. But you have to time your homing attack, and you also have to be careful, because if you fly off that edge, you're dead. So right here, there's a cool thing. It's new. It's really useful for moving around the hub world.
And what you'll see Refrag do now is normally what you would do to get into Speed Highway is you would use the key card that the game provides you to go up and, you know, go into Speed Highway the normal way. But we do the same clip that we would use in Glitched Route to enter Speed Highway, because you don't have to wait for the door to open.
So here is another example of a spin dash hover. As I was saying, hovers allowed you to extend your time in the air. So you could just use a spin dash hover there to get across the building and get there fast. Oh, that was certainly release off the rocket. You can also release off the rocket with the X button, or the spin dash button, I mean. So, why, you have to jump if you want to refresh your frame counter for the hover. That just refreshes the frame count, allowing you to stay in the air for longer amounts of time. Right here, Refrag's just gonna jump on the roof, and he's just gonna go up here and do a spin dash hover onto the end capsule.
And then we'll see after the Speed Highway, because there's multiple ways, because what you're going to want to do is get into the casino area, which happens to have the same loading zone as the train station. So the fast way
they're in the same area.
Yeah, the same area. So it looks like he's not going to be going for it, but it's actually faster to clip into the loading zone where the train station is, because it's normally locked at this point in the game.
There's a couple ways to do hotel skip. The most common ones are TAS hotel skip and hotel skip. Whoops.
TAS hotel skip and hotel skip. Are you gonna explain it?
Basically, TAS hotel clip is right next to the stairs to the train station. You also can't enter the train station doors because they're closed. And also hotel skip, which is just going. Ooh, that was something. And hotel skip, which is just going across to where the Tikal ball is, and just going to that corner clipping. It's really easy.
And now that we're in Red Mountain, there's 2 different ways to do the start of this. This is the easier way that you see Refrag doing it, but there's also an IL strat that you can do at the beginning, which uses, like, you need to have a lot of hover frames preserved, and you do essentially do a spin dash hover off of a rock, and it saves a good amount of time.
So right here, it's easier to go through this section in free cam. He also hit the spring by accident. So right here, Refrag's just gonna jump on this rock and just do some nice little spin dash jumps down to the second act. It's cool.
And
right
as Dage mentioned during Sky Chase with the clip level, you'll see those little lights that are on the side of the hallways in which Refrag just passed. Those aren't actually there. if you use a lower
Normal.
clip level. Yeah.
Yeah. So right here, he did platform jump. There's also rock jump. But basically, you use the tilting platform to get up there quicker, and then you just spin dash to jump off a rock. And rock jump is just jumping off a rock. Rock jump is slower, unfortunately. It's cool.
Yeah. It's slower, and I personally find it more difficult than platform jump as well. So
Yeah.
it comes down to preference, really, because it's not even insanely slower either way.
So, since we're in Sky Chase, and now I can explain about stuff. Going back to track skip, because I forgot to talk about that after the roller coaster skip. In the air, you can turn for a certain amount of time, and then suddenly your turning direction will be reversed. So you would have to hold left and then right after a certain amount of time in the air. If you have a lot of rings and want to be fast, that makes sense.
All right. So this is the longer of the two auto scrollers.
And I can answer that are related to this speed one.
Shoutouts to Eachmar.
Shoutouts to Eachmar. If you are enjoying this stream, be sure to shout out Eithmar.
So, he's a man who deserves shoutouts.
Please donate to NGR because it's cool.
Yeah, don't forget to donate because I believe the foundation is the American Suicide Prevention thing. But remember to donate to that as well, because that's where all the money's going towards. It's a good cause.
Good cause, great things, sometimes.
Alright.
Thought people were gonna ask questions. Damn it.
Got a Q&A sesh. It's okay, we still get 2 more Sky Chases afterwards.
Yay.
Alright, guys.
That's great.
Can I get a Mr. Destructoid in the chat?
Can I get a Dage 4 Eggy in the chat? Oh wait, my only subscriber is Seraphim.
Be sure to support Eithmar.
Be sure to support the marathon. Okay, so instead of being dumb, we're gonna talk about the run again. So coming up next is Sky Deck, and it's a hard technical stage. There's a lot of cool movement stuff. It's also very hard to get good at. Also, you can just shoot the laser.
Yeah.
Fine. The laser won't actually damage you if you destroy
it in time. Yeah. And so when we're entering Skydeck, there's actually an amount of time that you have where the game will let you move, but you're actually not really out of the cutscene. So you can enter the stage while still in the cutscene, and that might sound fast and all, but you soft lock your game and you cannot progress through the story after Skydeck.
Yeah, you're soft locked. You can't do anything. There's probably multiple soft locks in this game, and they all stink.
Yeah.
This game is actually coded by a devil. And what that means is they did a really good job preventing sequence breaks. Mostly.
There are flags everywhere, and the game will just throw crap at you if you try to skip them. But anyways, now that we're in Skydeck, oh, yeah, that's brutal. At some points, either the A button could get dropped, or your finger just accidentally presses the spin dash button to do jump cancel first. That's just stuff that kind of sucks. But what you'll see Refrag do here is he'll buffer an A input. Oh, that's to get a spin dash hover to hit those robots there,
Yeah.
skipping landing on the platform.
Unfortunately, he's having a hard time right now.
Skydeck is, you know, one of the most technical stages in the Sonic story.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest. Probably the hardest, but it's the most fun.
Yeah. Like, I agree that it's a fun stage once you know what you're doing, but anyways.
Anyway, we're just gonna homing attack, and then just do a spin dash jump up to this rocket, and just hit an explosive. If you don't hit that explosive, your homing attack might be screwed over.
Yeah. What you'll see there is you do a spin dash hover across a gap to where the rocket is to enter Act 2, as the game would expect you to go around the whole loop to the rocket, but you can just spin dash hover over and, you know, skip it.
So right here, the light dash particles can actually hit the turret, so it's kind of dangerous to spin dash around it.
And if you're fast enough to grabbing that first rocket, when the cannon actually pops up, you can hit it before it turns, which saves a good amount of time.
Unfortunately, Refrag couldn't get it. Right here, you can actually do something called the task strat. What you do is you basically spin dash, like the frame you enter Skydeck.
Yeah. You start charging a spin dash as you launch the rocket at the cannon, and then if you release the same frame that you transition between acts, you can preserve your momentum.
So right there, he was trying to do a thing called... He was trying to get on the capsule early, before the ship turns. And you can actually soft lock there if you land at the wrong spot on the capsule. Sometimes it won't soft lock at all, and it'll just take a really long time for Sonic to land. Pretty great.
So after the Gamma fight, there are two things that you can do. You can either try to enter the loading zone before, like, because as you saw that cutscene that appeared, you can enter the loading zone to get to where, oh, he got the harder version of skipping all of that first try.
This is faster. It's a simple clip, it's pretty easy. It's just
a little bit precise.
Wouldn't really save that much time. It's kind of like a little bit angle dependent, mostly position.
And the other method that you use, that you can actually get another soft lock, which prevents you from actually spawning Chaos 6. And this is a fairly straightforward boss. Like, you just wait for the ice eggs to drop, and you just charge up your, what's it called, light dash? Ancient Light. And you just hit him to do double damage. Ooh, that was close.
Ooh. Whoa.
Yeah.
So, the light attack, which is the upgrade we got in Red Mountain, can actually attract that egg, causing you to miss the attack on Chaos 6. And also, light attack allows you to easily 2-cycle him, quote unquote, as opposed to 3-cycle, if that makes sense. So, Lost Road is a pretty hard stage. I don't know why he's in free cam right now, that's kind of a problem.
Well, yeah. The camera for the beginning of Lost World is just, it follows you a lot better in auto cam.
Yeah, it follows like 10 times better in auto. And welcome to the Flame Tunnel. This tunnel is actually RNG, and it's super dumb to navigate in auto.
That's brutal.
So this is Snake Skip. You kind of land on the rim of the snake and you spin dash jump. But you have to do it like really quickly, otherwise you're gonna have a tough time.
And the thing with this snake, sometimes if you enter like this area where it is too quickly, he'll actually spawn up, and so preventing you from actually doing the skip. It's hard to explain, but it'll look like the snake is flying. And there you go, he got the strat. And
that's rough though. For him to get it. You can either do a spin dash hover or the spin dash jump. The spin dash jump is a bit harder if you don't angle yourself. There's certain spots in the game where your input can just get dropped. It's great. So you just angle yourself.
Oh man, that was close. And I don't know if
Also,
you guys might have missed it, but he kind of just charged a spin dash at that door and then paused his game and went through it. That's a trick known as pause phasing, where temporarily, while the game is paused, some assets won't actually be loaded in, so you can travel through them once it's let go, which is why you charge a spin dash and then you let go to enter Act 2 of Lost World without having to do the puzzle.
the only time you actually use it is there. And right here, right back there, he missed a skip called the water slide skip. There's two variations. There's waterfall and water slide skip. Waterfall is an IL only trick.
Oh, that game over on Lost World is beautiful.
Oh, where did he die? Boulder. Yeah, the camera can screw you over there if you enter it a certain way. And also, there's a specific pattern to how the boulder moves, so you kind of want to stop at some point. I forgot where, but
a little bit before the end of the first drop-off.
Yeah. And then you can just spin dash down the second part.
Oh, there you go. You got Snake Skip a little bit easier that time, which is good.
Yeah.
Oh, he almost made it back from there. Yeah, entering the boulder can, you know, it seems kind of easy in practice, but it could be, you know, you make one mistake and you go a little bit too long, and then the boulder rubber bands to you and it's all over.
I'm gonna try explaining water slide skip. Basically, you avoid a death plane by going through a wall and then going straight for a certain amount of time, and then just getting behind this waterfall, and then you can just do a spin dash jump around it. The camera can screw up unless if you homing attack early there during water slide skip though, your camera can just go reverse and screw it up and kill you. But if you wait, the camera like kind of bops up and down, I guess, then you can do it. Oh, wait, was he holding the camera buttons for the boulder? Yeah, that's right.
No, not the first time, but anyway, so what you see here is by using the gravity pads on the walls, you can actually spin dash up and skip the whole like area that the game expects you to go around to reach the end, and you can just finish it in like 2 spin dash jumps, and it skips the real like a lot.
That was really rough.
Yeah. Lost World is one of those stages, like this last leg of the race, where, you know, either you have the nerves going or whatever, it can just be detrimental to the run. And one misinput or anything could just lead to a chain reaction of messing.
The last 3 stages are some of the hardest in the game, especially Skydeck and Lost World. Right here, there's a puzzle, and sometimes it can jank you like that, but it's okay.
I've never seen that entrance before.
Me too. What the fuck? Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. It happens. It happens. Anyway.
So going into Act 2 of Final Egg, you can actually spin dash up where you come, and there's no invisible wall. They have an invisible wall in the Dreamcast version, but it's not actually there on the DX edition of this game, and you can skip everything.
Also, I just want to say, DX is more of the remake than an actual port.
Yeah.
Things are like way different in DX, and overall worse.
Yeah, when it comes to like even the little things like different textures, but it also has like different collision and everything. And
different game mechanics, and certain glitches don't work on Dreamcast.
The end of that, in case you missed it, you just kind of hop on the elevator and you do a spin dash jump or a hover to go over the kill plane, and there's just nothing, and you just free fall to the end.
Hover is more risky though, because if you don't have enough hover frames, you're bound to hit it.
Yeah. There's also a elevator clip that you can do as the elevator's coming down, but it's not a good trick.
You have to cancel your jump at a certain time. Not too late or not too early. If it's too early, then you'll just fall down or get stuck in the elevator. If it's too late, either you'll miss it or you stay in the elevator or something like that. Oh.
Yeah. But now that we're in Egg Viper, the final boss is Sonic's Story. the goal of the boss to do it fast is to stay, because as you can see across the gap, there's another set of platforms. But your
But
goal
we don't go
is
there.
to, yeah, your goal is to stay on these platforms by hitting Eggman early and homing attacking back on, so you can, like, you'll see when he tries to attack like this, he will, pop up a little bit first and then back off. If you hit him before he backs off, you can just homing attack back and platform. But this boss is fairly straightforward, although the game can be pretty jank sometimes, and not much you can do. Oh, that was risky. He's very lucky. Because
Very lucky, man.
sometimes,
Ooh,
yeah. That
He's
angle.
lucky he didn't die though. That
Oh, yeah.
angle. Kind of poopy.
You want to hit Egg Viper straight on when you're going for those spin dash jumps, so you can ensure that you're going to be sent straight back and have enough distance. But
Right
Refrag
here-
is good for covering.
You can just jump on the spinning disc for the next little while. However, on the last attack, you want to wait until Eggman's over the platform so that you don't die. You can do an IL strat to stay alive, but it's an IL strat, so don't do it.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Do you think Refrag will die here? I hope not. If you
No.
sit on the edge
I hope
of
he
the
doesn't do
platform,
the spin dash strat.
please don't do a monkey.
Oh, that was a big dick gamer strat.
Okay. We're good.
Alright.
So, you can do a soft reset after the credits screen shows up. And that's just the black screen and the text. So, right here, he's just going to do a soft reset. Alt F2 on the keyboard. Unless you have X Input Fixed version 2, then you're screwed.
So now we're entering Tails' story, which is one of the more relaxed stories of them. And what you're going to want to start, as you can see, Tails flies really slowly. So you want to go, the first order of business is to grab the jet anklets, which let Tails fly faster, and it makes a huge impact on the entire run.
Sorry. That was so bad.
Ooh. And in this, like, the sewers in free cam can be really jank sometimes. And now let's see where he's gonna go. Also, hi Dage. We're gonna be, and he's gonna be going to Egg Hornet.
Shoutouts
Which-
to more.
Shoutouts to Ethmar, man. We also have two options coming out of getting the jet anklets. You can either clip early into Ice Cap and do that, which most of the runners who are grinding for a really good time do, because that route only loses 5 frames over the linear route, and you can...
And also, there's a really tough clip that sucks.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. We'll
Let's
get
see.
there. So
Oh.
anyway, you can get a
Oh.
one cycle, and it's basically just repeatedly jump canceling. It's a pretty tight time
It was
window.
so close. That attempt that Refrag had was so close. If he would have flew up, he would have gotten that last hit.
Evan, we're talking about task clip, you dumb. Sorry.
Yeah, we're talking the task clip that there's that clip that you can do at the beginning of Ice Cap, which Refrag might actually go for because he's fairly consistent at it. Where you just move into the wall and you go through it. That's it. And it saves
Wow,
like 10
what a
seconds.
bully.
But anyway, the
Task
first
clip isn't needed, yeah, but the point is, it's gonna be optimal it's gonna be optimal at one point where you need it.
if you're going for a good time, it's 10 seconds that you get at the beginning of the run. Think of it that way. Anyway, we're going into Windy Valley, and this demonstrates what most of Tails' stages are actually like. And he didn't clip out through the invis wall, which are just fly to the end of the stage. And that's just the gist of it, which you use various visual cues in the clouds and the position marker at the bottom of the screen to judge where you are in regards to the actual stage. And since Refrag has far distance, which I actually prefer for Tails story because you can see where you're going, and you can land at the stage without 20-second, which is an average time.
20 is pretty average.
Yeah.
Just like Nick said. So now we're gonna go to Casino, and Basically, Casino is you fly, you clip through a wall, you win. Just like most Tales games. Except for Ice Cap. Because Ice Cap is dumb. We'll talk about that when we get there. This is crucial to talk about. Alright. So Refrag's gonna enter in the story mode. You can actually fly faster. If that makes sense. You don't have to wait for inputs to be allowed. Or the I don't know what to call it. Basically, there's a waiting time when you enter a stage normally. Before your inputs will be accepted. That doesn't exist in the story mode for Casinopolis with Tails for some reason.
And it's only during a run. Like, it's not like if you go in through adventure mode, it's the same. It's only when you're in a run, and that first time you enter the stage.
Yeah, first time you enter Tails' story. Hold up.
And you'll notice here that he actually doesn't have the ice key, yet he's going towards Ice Cap. So what he's going to do is he's going to get on the ceiling here, and then hold a rightish direction, and then he can just fly through the wall. Which, you know, sometimes people can find it fairly precise, but there you go, second try.
Okay, I'm back. Let's talk about Ice Cap.
Ice Cap is one of the really odd stages, because it forces you to do the snowboarding section that you skip in Sonic's story. Yet, there are multiple ways of making your journey down the hill faster. One, let's see if he goes for it. Oh, he's going for it. Ah, and he misses it. That's the task clip that we were talking about, where you can just phase through that wall. It's super precise. Like, it really earns its name as a task clip.
It's super precise, and it's super dumb, and it saves a lot of time. There's also a second one that no one goes for because there's no setup. There's no
even more
quote-unquote
dumb.
setup. And there really isn't like a really good setup yet.
And we'll see coming up, which will demonstrate maybe the second portion of making it down the hill even sooner. And he gets it. That's known as a super jump, which you get to the top part of the ramp, and it's actually a developer-intended feature where you can actually get way more height and speed than I guess the game would expect you to get. I don't know.
It's jank. The time for Sonic, we don't know, because I wasn't watching the main stream.
35? Yeah.
Nice. And Refrag, this second super jump is
nice.
a bit inconsistent, depending on
Whoa.
the ground.
Oh man.
He held for it for way too long.
Yeah. I don't think he was expecting to get that, but he got it. So that actually is really difficult to get both of those in one sitting.
Yeah.
It can be really frustrating for some people.
Yeah, like me, because super jumps don't exist. Well, I mean, not like super jumps don't exist. Those are pretty easy. Tasks clip doesn't exist in my copy.
Legit patch. Shoutouts to
EVMAR.
So, Knuckles fight, it's the exact same as the one that you fight as Sonic, where you just hit him 4 times, and then that's it. And as Dage mentioned in Sonic's story, you actually can get the splash attack on every single hit in Tails. So what you want to do is you want to just fly through the air, and that's it. There's no like trick to it or anything, no secret buttons. What you see is what you get, man. Just wait for him to do his attack, and then you fly through the air.
Ooh, Refrag was on the ground. That's why you got the wave attack.
Yeah, which it definitely could have been worse. You could have gotten blue balls.
I almost said a bad word by accident.
You already said a bad word.
Well, that was like one time, and it was during Final Egg, which no one cares about. Promise. Also, when's more Tails than Final Egg Isles?
Soon TM. Tonight at 9. Shoutouts to Flanders. So after this boss, oh, and it looks like He went down a little bit too early on that hit, but now he should be able to attack him. Yep. So coming up is another Sky Chase, which I know everybody loved from Sonic's story. So you just get to see it again, and you get to go through and do the exact same thing. However, with the exception in Tail's story, you do not want to shoot stuff, because if you get too many points, you'll actually get an extra emblem, which loses time. Fun fact.
Dang it. Tommy beat me in Aquatic Mine times 20. I'm sad. Anyway, that was Sonic Adventure 2, which is coming up, I think, sometime tonight.
Yes, at whatever time your time zone is. Check the schedule. Is there an exclamation point schedule? There it is. You'll be seeing a race from your boy Hexaforce versus Epic Frog Skater. Don't want to miss it.
Better.
Ooh,
Better not miss it.
There is commentary by Seraphim, I believe, in that race.
Yeah, so that's cool. Seraphim's a cool gamer. Maybe I should join in for that commentary. But I won't, because I'm pretty sure that's not a thing that can happen. Alright. I might commentate for that. I'll have to talk to Seraphim about it though. And I want to make sure that the mods, the managers in the marathon are okay with it. Because let me tell you, it's so nice not commentating for my runs right now, because when I commentate for my runs marathons, they're pretty bad.
It's like, I've got a lot of respect for people who can play the game at a good level and commentate, you know, with a good amount of brain cells at the same time. Like, because not only do you have to make sure that you're explaining what you're doing, but you have to make sure you're not screwing up what you're actually talking about. So,
I mean, so far, my main problem with commentary is just not swearing, which is great.
Deej just needs a personal.
Because then people just tell me that, that I'm bad at commenting.
Alright, so now that we are done that wonderful auto-scroller, we get to go and do another snowboarding section, or I guess sandboarding section. Notice Sand Hill?
Sandboarding.
And you
There's
can
a clip
actually
you can
do a
do here.
clip. Yeah, you can clip
Through
to the
the
ceiling by standing in. Are you gonna say it with me?
Spot on the square, and then flying while holding slightly up. And Refrag almost got it.
Oh, second
if you
try.
Missed this, second try. That's kind of slow though.
It's better than not getting it at all.
Yeah. There's an invisible wall there till the sand stops sinking for some reason. So it's cool. Is that actually faster to jump there? I don't think it is.
I don't know. I haven't looked a lot into Sandhill, so.
Me either. I don't think anyone cares about Sandhill.
It's an awful stage. Give me Sky Chase Act 3. Get out of here, Sandhill.
It's actually horrible. The ending is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
What you'll notice here is this is the hallway of death, where you've got these really nasty slants in the terrain, and if you hit one of them at a weird angle, you just get launched either into the wall or into that awful rock on the side.
And you lose all your speed, and you're just forced to go down.
Yeah, and your run can die at the end of Sandhill. And there's nothing you can do. Oh, there is something you can do, but it's awful.
It's horrible to move through it because the terrain just bounces you around.
Mm-hmm. And now, I know you've all been waiting for it, but it's time for Sky Chase Act 2, Part 2.
Okay, do you guys have any questions? Because I don't even care anymore. Tail story is bad. Garbage. Just like all the other stories.
No,
Except Gamma. But Gamma has a dumb trick.
I love Gamma. I love early shot.
I have a question. Where do I go to start learning Sonic Start? Oh, alright. So what you do is you go... Okay. Okay, Monkey, stop. Monkey is a very average player. Not average, but like, he plays the game a lot. So, I'm not gonna answer Modified Monkey. How's that? Why is there a house in the water? I don't know. Why do you act like a baby? Okay, Monkey, stop. I hate you. Not really, though. Why is Sky Chase the best part of Sonic DX?
Says you get to go make a sandwich.
I want to start running Sonic Story. Alright, here's what you do. You go to speedrun.com/Sadix. What you do is you go to your own run and watch it. Here. Actually, no, I can't post it because links aren't allowed. Dang. Point is, stop.
Does anybody have any good questions that require brain cells?
Yeah. Why is that house in the water meme such a meme in your chat though, Dage? I don't know. Don't ask me.
Why Canada? Why Canada, Dage? Isn't Canada's a perfect nation?
Canada is the greatest nation on the planet.
You just can't beat Canada.
You see, Canada doesn't actually care about, you know, all this dumb stuff when we have a lot more than we deserve.
You know what America doesn't have? The Northwest Territories.
Doesn't have free healthcare.
Doesn't have free healthcare. Canada is literally just better than America. Alright. So we're coming up to the Sky Chase. Same thing as Sonic Sky Chase. You're just gonna have to, you know, lock on to all of the blasters that the boss has, which will, I think, what does it do? Does that take away some of his health before he actually starts shooting?
Dage, I want to learn Hero Story. Mac, you hate Sonic Adventure 2. Uh-oh.
So now that we're done, we get to go into Tales of Sky Chase, which you blink, you'll miss everything. It's a 20-second stage, which just involves really precise starting to fly and stopping your flights, knowing where to land, knowing not to land, skipping scripted sections. I mean, same as Sonic's. It's a really technical stage, but it's obviously not comparable.
Not by much.
Yeah.
I really hope they lock the room. That would be great. Alright.
So, we'll see what Refrank does. You want to hit that speed pad there, hit that one there, then you want to fly, and now here, you're going to want to skip one of those lovely scripted sections, which will send you far back. No.
Oh yeah, he didn't do it. Basically, if you go between those metal things, it cancels out the scripted section for some reason. That's how I understand it.
Alright. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to fight Gamma, which is, it's the same. Like, it's the same as it is in Sonic, and no, you don't fight him as nice. But what you're going to want to do is excuse me, is you're just gonna want to hit him without hitting him too fast in between hits to avoid getting phantom hits. And now that we're in Speed Highway, we're gonna wanna. You have two options. You can either do the stage regularly, or you can do which is known as Gravity Glitch, which Refrag actually went for.
And he didn't get it. He did a really jank setup for it. But Gravity Glitch actually saves 2 seconds, and it's not actually hard when you think about it.
And so I guess he opted to go for just doing the stage regularly, which I think Gravity Glitch only saves like 2 seconds over a really good Speed Highway or something like that. 2 to maybe a low 3 seconds. So as we go through the stage, it's very straightforward. You just fly through very specific green rings.
I'm sorry. I got too overboard with the statement that the strat was easy. It's a bit... You have to do some fine-tuning, but...
It's finicky. It's the same thing as any other relatively tricky strat. I mean, Ice Key Skip is easy to age.
Okay.
So it's like...
So anyway, you can move around at the start of the Egg Walker fight. It's cool. You can do some cool strats here with the flute button, which is bound to Y normally. It does some jank animation cancels with the Egg Walker. For some reason, it just does that. And seems like Refrag is opting out to make this boss a bit easier for himself.
Well, it's understandable. The boss can be, if you press Y too early, then you can actually soft lock, and you have to restart the boss.
Yeah, and it's kind of a hard boss to go fast in.
Mm. There's so many things that, with really weird hitboxes, and where you have to hit them, where you can't land, how to manipulate them. It can be really difficult to deal with this boss at times. And that's the end of Tails' story. Yay!
Yay!
The 2 longest stories are out of the way now. So now we get to move into Knuckles, I believe. The most RNG, all RNG, 100%, coming up to you. Knuckles is an interesting story. It's one of the most fun race categories I find, because there's so much that you can do, and so much can differ between the routes, and anything can happen. Like, anybody can get amazing RNG, anybody can get terrible RNG, and,
Hey guys, my
most
name
of the time
is
it's fun.
Alright. Shoutouts to Ethmar. We're gonna say shoutouts to Ethmar after every piece. How about that? Is that something? Oh, you got a garbage first piece. I almost said a bad word. It happens.
Oh, okay. And then he got the piece on the windowsill.
The good third piece. I wonder what second piece he got. Shoutouts to Ethmar.
And now, where's the last piece? Oh, it's not over there. If it would have been over there, that would have been a really good layout. I guess, probably like a, 24? Something like that. So not bad at all. Opting the check over there.
And he got probably one of the worst second pieces.
Yeah, the one... Ooh, that was jank.
Yeah, that's super jank. Shoutouts to Ethmar.
Yeah.
He's cursing this race.
And now next up, we're going to be heading over to Casinopolis, which is, it's another one of those stages that it's like, you can't control what time you get other than with what RNG and how you execute it. But even if you have perfect RNG, the difference between getting like 12 or getting like a 40 can't really be in your favor all the time.
Speaking of RNG, Knuckles is kind of different from SA2. SA2 Knuckles, if that makes sense in this game.
Well,
so
we'll see this piece. Okay, and he got the shoot clip.
Differences are most likely the radar, and the biggest ones is you don't have to use hints. Because in Knuckles' story, if you get bad RNG, you most likely will just reset.
Oh, those pieces were really good.
In Knuckles and Sonic Adventure 2, it's there's a lot of cool movement tech in the Sonic Adventure 2, and a lot of varying skill between players, but most of the time in Sadix, it's just RNG.
Mm. And that's mostly due to the fact that you have all three radars open, so you can know exactly where all your pieces are and you can judge them. So if you're close to one in SAT, you could probably very easily judge. Oh, and so what you can do is you'll see that there'll be this little section where your controls are locked during the little cutscene, I guess, when Cream is flying through. You can actually mash out of that cutscene by either jumping or pressing B to actually, be able to move during the cutscene. It saves a little bit of time, not a lot,
Yeah.
but this could be a little bit spooky. The menace of Chaos 2. You can actually manipulate this boss to get a...
Yeah, if you jump backwards while he's going down, then you'll be able to attack him, or he'll just let you attack him.
So now what you're going to want to do is you want to go grab, what's it called on this? The Shuffle Claw, I believe, which will allow you to actually press A and B at the same time to dig up pieces. And it's really poorly programmed in this game, which is unfortunate because it's a really cool aspect that works very well in SA2.
Yeah, digging is neat in SA2.
So what you do is you go grab the monkey switch and take it up to where you go into Red Mountain. Whereas Sonic, you would use the Ancient Light to destroy the monkey, but as Knuckles, a little bit less spectacular, you just put down a monkey switch that destroys the poor monkey. Red Mountain, I mean, the levels as you go on, they just get more and more detrimental as far as RNG goes.
The biggest offenders are Red Mountain and Skydeck, because they're big open spaces, and, Speed Highway to an extent.
Like,
there are all these big open spaces.
And man, this is brutal, because look at this route that he's taking. He's checking, so it might look like he got, really good pieces. He got all three of his pieces at the back. That's brutal.
Which would be good if you were doing, attempts for Knuckles Story, but in the All Stories run, where you're trying to be safe, it's not.
Yeah. Most people, you want to check up that first mountain first. But that's, those are good pieces, but not really in the sense of the safe way to check for pieces. Which is unfortunate. Alright. So next up, we get to go to our third round of Chaos 4. I know everybody loves them. And it's, for whatever reason, in Tail Story, you have to hit Chaos 4 once less than in Sonic and Knuckles. So, there's that thing. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Knuckles works the same way as Tails, where it's really difficult to get blue balls.
Yeah. But you do 5 hits instead of 4 like Tails. Also, when the audio stopped, that's just him tabbing out. The original game doesn't actually have, it just pauses when the window is inactive. You just have a mod manager for that instead. Be right back.
Great. Hey. So all you're going to want to do is just fly around, try, as best as you can, to not... to not be on the ground when Chaos is about to pick where he's going. So, oh, hold on a sec. Okie dokie. And that looks like it's going to become to a wrap for the boss. Just need to hit him one more time, and that's that. Oh. Oh! No, I guess as I was looking away, he must have gotten blue balls. That's very unfortunate. So after Chaos 4, Sky Chase is all over. Don't worry, guys, you don't have to deal with that anymore. But what you're going to need to do is take the cart here, and you're going to need to go and scavenge the jungle to find where all the statues are. Which, a little less scavenging because they're in the same place every time. It'd be interesting if they had some sort of treasure hunting stage. But you're going to have to go up here and take the gold statue that you saw at the start and put it in there. But be careful not to leave that area too quickly, which refrag is going fairly quick, which the gold statue might despawn. Ooh. Yeah, landing here can be pretty tough. Like I said, the dig mechanic in this game is not very well put together. It's floating. Alright, now we're into Lost World. This is actually the easiest stage out of all of them, because all you're going to have to do is just go through up here and do that fun pause phasing trick that we talked about in Sonic's story, and you can just go through the door and actually finish the stage through Sonic's section. So it's pretty cool. You save a solid amount of time. Actually, somebody was testing, I can't remember who, to see if you got a potential optimal piece combination that it might be faster, but it's not. It's by far the fastest way to just go through Sonic's section and hit that capsule. Which, if you were doing a Knuckles story attempt, then, you know, it wouldn't actually be there. The capsule wouldn't be there. Well, the way that works, Evan, is that there's a scripted section for the loop, and if you fly over it, and you don't go across the loop, and you have to fall.
Alright.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be going to where Final Egg is for all the other characters, but what it's really going to do is take us to the egg carrier, where Knuckles is going to prepare to do Skydeck, which is, I don't think anybody will deny that it's the worst level in Knuckles' story.
Yeah, it's super RNG heavy. It can most of the world record runs have golds in Skydeck. That shows you how bad it is.
Your times can range from like 12 seconds to like a minute 20. It's brutal. Going into it, the main thing that actually ruins it is that there are like 3 bad pieces that you get that will just screw your run. That you just can't do anything because you have to go all the way back. Sure, there are clips, but even if you do the clips, which are hard enough as it is, it's difficult.
So right here, he forgot to turn the levers, so he might get screwed over.
I think here, what you would do, because since you know that you're not going to be
They're all
pieces
at
in
the
the,
back.
yeah,
They're all of them. That was actually pretty decent if you know how to do the thing.
I don't think it's in that one. There it is. But maybe. Is that?
They're both. Wait, no, they aren't both in there. I'm dumb.
I think it's in the robot.
I think he got floating stone.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he got floating stone. I think he got the one at the beginning.
No, it's not. I don't think it's in there. I think it's in the robot. It's on top.
Currently, yeah, it's right above.
And then So you know it's not. Yeah, he got floating stone.
Let's see if he knows where he is.
So I believe what you would want to do in this situation, where you can check to see if you have any pieces that are right below you. So you'd want to push the lever over to the right, so that you can make it so there's a piece that you can get where it's under one of the movable trolleys by the ship's tilt. So you want to set it up so you can have that piece open in case you get it, because that's one of the pieces that just ruins your life if you get it.
Yeah, but most of the time, if you get good RNG, you won't get that. Which is what you have to do if you want world record.
Gotta game hard.
I don't know when I'll get IGT for that, by the way. Probably never. At least it will go down in history.
Oh,
as
man.
some random kid plays Knuckles for a week and gets free world record.
Alright.
It
So now we
wasn't
get to go.
actually free.
So now we get to go into Chaos 4, or Chaos 6, or which Knuckles actually has an upgrade that would do the same thing as Sonic, where you can 2-cycle him, called the Power Gloves, but it's actually not faster to go and get them. Those are in the Mystic Ruins.
Yeah, and it's just very high. It's not worth it.
Oh, that was really tight. that egg throw.
Is Refit trying to do like an IO?
Holy crap! These hits.
His egg throws are pretty slow, but that second
Oh
one's really
man, like those are some really good egg hits. I think that he only lost time on at the beginning of Chaos 6 not inhaling the egg. So that was very good.
It's crazy. So now we got the next story, which is Amy's story. Amy's story is dumb.
Amy's story is my least favorite out of all the stories.
No, Amy's story is just dumb. Big story is the worst. Holy heck. And also in Big Story, there's a new tech where it's frame perfect, but you can get Froggy without reeling him in, and it's frame perfect. It's so bad.
So what you're going to want to do at the start of Amy is similar to the hotel skip that we talked about in Sonic's story. We're going to want to clip into the locked loading zone. Oh, that was a nice clip. Of
Also,
the train station.
That was really smooth as well. Anyway, that's what I should say. It's faster to do jumps with Amy.
The fastest moving way is to just do that.
I don't know if these are full hops or just taps. But I think these are taps.
You want to be holding them on the way, all the way.
Yeah, I think full jumps are faster for some reason. And the Meg is bad.
So the game expects you to actually go through the castle, but what you can do is you can kind of do a hammer jump in the corner right here. Oh, lost some speed, and you can clip out of bounds. See if you can get it. There's also an alternate skip that you can do for this, and you don't even have to enter in this loading zone to the castle. And you can just go around the outside, and it's called Castle Skip.
It's called Castle Skip.
Oh.
Skip. And he dies. Dang. There's a weird jank thing you could do here, is that... I think it's... yeah, like that. I don't know how that happens, but it just happens sometimes. Not sometimes, but it just happens, and I have no clue why.
It just... The game is really bad at detecting the progression of Amy in the stage. Kind of like how if you restart the stage when you're outside the castle after you finish this, it'll just take you back to the start of the stage. Like, it doesn't care about your checkpoints.
Fun fact, okay. Yeah, you're supposed to hammer jump here. It's faster. Sorry, sounds like I'm critiquing Refrag's rundown. Anyway. Fun fact, in my All-Stars run, I got Castle Skip. Somehow. It's really hard, it's really tough. Not only that, but there's RNG involved. At Amy's final stage, there's RNG involved. So you could literally get screwed over for no reason. Dang it. I can't read French.
That's like the easiest French of all time. Is supersonic code?
Alright, so here's a Hedgehog Hammer. This is kinda RNG. You could get screwed over, depending on the RNG. And you want to get 2,000 points, that's the goal. You can do some jank here. If you read this hint sign, you're able to move around at the Hedgehog Hammer cutscene. And what you could do is, you can do a clip out of the room and get the Hedgehog Hammer upgrade cutscene. I think it's the feather, something like that.
Yeah, the warrior feather.
Outside the room, and it saves some time, but it's really precise. You can't skip any upgrades in Amy's story because you softlock.
You can try.
You don't even need the upgrade to begin with. So that's cool.
And it's the same thing as Dage mentioned back in Sonic's story. This game is evil the way it's programmed against sequence breaking. It knows, like, every little thing that you have to do is a flag, and if you skip it, you're soft locked.
Is Refrag having problems with his stick? It seems like his sensitivity's
The way he was telling me that he has a controller problem where it doesn't actually hold all the way to the right.
I see. He's using 360 controller, right?
He's using a PS3 controller.
I see. Yeah, I know Edward had some jank with that, with his new PS3 controller. I think Edward just kind of modified his broken controller and worked fine. Edward Bottles, a cool guy. Shoutouts to Eve Mar.
So, coming up to Act 2 of Hot Shelter, we're gonna do probably the best named trick of all time, Bathroom Break, where you actually, you go into the bathroom stall, and you open the door, and it pushes you out of bounds.
Tommy is on a world record pacing. These knuckles are turning on. This is important.
Pay attention to the run, Dage.
No, I'm reading chat. So, anyway, Hot Shelter is a technical stage.
Ooh.
Definitely technical. There's an invisible wall there. That's why you do a hammer jump off the wheel. It's faster. But you can do a hammer jump off the wheel here, and it's faster to go down there. Oh wait, no, you skip the doors, which is faster, because you have to wait for them to open.
Although it can be a little bit finicky.
You can do some jank there that allows you to skip those doors, but it's really tough. It's kind of tough to get. And now we are forced to do this puzzle. Fun fact, in the Dreamcast version, you can skip this room.
Fun fact.
We're not playing the Dreamcast version. Fun fact, the Dreamcast also has cutscenes that are unskippable.
And the game runs at 30 FPS. Alright, so now that we're done that wonderful puzzle, we get to go up and do it again. Oh wait, no we don't.
You skip it.
We get to skip the second puzzle.
And basically how you do it is you jump through a wall.
It's really interesting, the way that it works.
There's some jank there that if you hammer jump in certain spots, you can get up there.
Whoa, that...
Whoa, whoa! What?
I haven't seen that before. I mean, we take those. Damn, that was jank as heck.
I'm a bit sad that I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, neither did I.
But
gotta get Refrag to teach us the strats later. Whoa, that's a jank. Is he in free cam still?
Yeah. He is.
Okay, so coming up now, we're gonna want to go outside, which we get to end our brief experience on the egg carrier, see Sonic and Gamma, boo-hoo, and then it's time to go to Final Egg, which is in that same place where we went with Knuckles, which took us to the egg carrier.
Oh yeah, by the way, these two stories are pretty boring. I said two stories. Not Gamma. I'm not talking about Gamma, I'm talking about Amy and Big.
Said the next two.
I didn't say the next two, I said these two stories. I didn't say next.
So anyway, we're going into Final Egg. He tried to do a strat where you can actually get on top of the jungle there by getting on that little lip that's down a little bit farther.
He got vertex on the landing, so he couldn't do the second hammer jump over.
Just really bad collision there. That was kind of tight. Oh.
Yeah, that's a really tight hammer jump. Oh, and he got jinked by the puzzle. There we go.
He unjinktified himself. And now, you get to go through, which is just the walk of shame until you get to the real meat and potatoes of the stage, which is whether or not you got good RNG or not. If you go, your run can die. Like, you could have had a perfect run going, and you reach these 5 doors. The 5 doors that hold your fate.
The doors are completely random. They teleport you to a specific spot in the stage. The spot in the stage is like really high in the air. Last time I remember. I think Mustache found it.
Yeah,
and
it's
you can't skip it. You can't do anything. You're just forced to look at these doors. There's no like visual cue either. It's just random doors.
Yep, it's the worst part of the story that you could. It doesn't matter how good you've been playing. It doesn't matter anything. You get to these 5 doors in this open room. You pick one, and you sell your soul, and that's it. Your run can die. Your run could you could have a really crappy run become a good run because you get first door, but not much you can do. Most people check for the 3rd door because Flandre actually checked that for whatever. Oh, and he gets first door. The 3rd door actually, for whatever reason.
Oh, first door.
Show up.
You got first door. Dang.
So that's pretty good.
Also, they're all equal probability.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure.
I guess in theory they are, but I don't know. I'm just saying what I heard.
The game has a big ol' wiener. I tried saying.
Alright, Gaming Nation. It is time to go to the end of this story. And then we get to start a wonderful escapade of a purple cat through its adventures of fishing. Now, since Amy is really, really, really slow going up ladders, you want to aim your hammer jump as close to the edge of that jungle area where you can walk on top as possible so you can get height on the ladder.
Amy makes the worst noises on this ladder. Shoutouts to Ifmar.
Alrighty, so now that we're in this boss, known as Zero, normally, I guess there are some strats that you can do to go even faster, but you can just kind of corner him into the laser, and you can hit him. I don't know how this boss is actually supposed to be played casually. I just know that you can kind of push him into the laser.
Yeah, that is how you actually play it. You have to time the hammers like really well. Otherwise, if you time the hammers really well, he'll just get hit by the laser over again.
That's it for Amy's story. 3 more
Now
left.
we get to die.
Big story is really laid back. But now it's like, as Dage mentioned earlier, it's got these strats where if you press both triggers at the same time, and your line is at the perfect spot, and you press both your triggers frame perfectly at the same time to cancel your line, you can actually catch Froggy without reeling. It's crap. Like,
no one's gonna do it. No one's gonna do it. So let's just talk about how there's a lot of RNG in this story, fun fact. Most of the time you're just jumping, but like there's a bit of RNG to Froggy and all this stuff. It's really
and where
jank.
he spawns, yeah. But Big's movement, as Dage briefly mentioned, it's similar to Amy's, where you want to jump around, but for Big you want to do short hops. Like, you want to tap the button for as short as possible. Well, for Amy, you want to exert however long you can hold the A as possible, as much as possible. And that looks like a pretty good... Ooh, he moved it a little bit. Is he going to go for it? That looked like he was setting up the angle. But I think he pressed an input by accident. Playing it safe, which is understandable, because if your line breaks, then it's over. And I don't think he knows this, but you can actually press the action button during that cutscene where
they canceled the victory animation.
Yep, and that saves a second or two.
Pretty weird. I didn't even know that for the longest time.
Yeah, same. I didn't know it until shoutouts to Ethmar until Ethmar told me. Alright. Excuse me. But now we're going to be going up to Ice Cap, which, you know, all the big stages are really the same. Like, you just cast your line in the general vicinity of Froggy, you pray to God that he even looks at you, maybe will nibble on you, and when he's nibbling on the bait, you gotta hold down. And then sometimes he likes to pull on the line. There's just a bunch of crap in this story that is awful. And the current world record holder, Jerkro, he's put an insane amount of time into this story, into perfecting it. And now it can be perfected even further with these really, really dumb strats that have been found. And now you'll get to see a glimpse of that. For whatever reason, Big is the fastest character going up ladders. Fun fact of the day.
Fun fact, shout out to Ethmar.
Oh, casted that line a little bit too close to himself.
Yeah, he placed himself in a really weird position. You can manipulate Froggy a little bit by pulling the reed.
The reed?
The bait. You can pull the bait, and Froggy might go to it. And then whether he'll let you, like, just keep reeling him in.
What dumb strats? The frame perfect reel-in that you can do. Ugh. And now we're off to Emerald Coast, which, there's this lighthouse that you guys will see when we get into it, and if you mess up, there was this one time that Ethmar led Froggy into the lighthouse, and he soft-locked his game because Froggy got stuck in the lighthouse. And that's a possible thing that you can do, because Froggy, he doesn't return to his initial cycle, because he just moves in a circle, but if you offset his circle by reeling him in and he gets alerted by the bait, and then he gives up,
You know
it's silly. What?
Did you notice that weird jump he did up to there? Like, up to the stairs?
Yeah, that was pretty
really jank. I didn't even know that was a thing. Jerkro probably doesn't.
Horribly.
Probably.
No, same old, same old.
You know,
Get close to the frogger.
I could probably lie down on my bed while I'm watching this.
Oh, do you see that? Froggy kind of showed
Yeah, that
interest.
was jank. I think that might happen because he's close.
Yep. I'm almost certain that's exactly why. Now Froggy's just being a pain. He's pulling away.
Man, I really want to play something right now. Sorry.
Right. So Hot Shelter, like you gotta move through the start, but then once you get to the portion where Froggy actually is, it's really easy because you can see where he spawns every time and just cast the rod there. Let's see, you gotta get the speed shoes. Oh,
We got it. He's going fast.
frame perfect jump. Just kidding, it's not actually
Shout
frame
us-
perfect.
Shoutouts to Ethmar. We're gonna keep shouting out Ethmar till the end of our office. This is a weird in-stage cutscene. It's kind of neat. I like it.
And boom, there's Froggy. And he didn't show any interest.
Probably because the line was so close.
Oh.
Hey guys, you want to know a fun fact? I died in Hot Shelter in my All Stories run. It was pretty epic. So I basically lost a minute.
So the story is coming to the end. Like we said, it's been a pretty, casual story. There's nothing too crazy that you do. Like, what else would you expect from this dumb purple cat just trying to catch some fish? So it's a fun break, I guess.
Oh yeah, right here we just kind of go to Chaos 6. Chaos 6 is kind of jank. You kind of have to manipulate Chaos in a specific way. You also have to throw your fishing line in a weird way as well.
You need to almost overshoot where you actually want to go for your line to actually catch Froggy. Let's see if he gets it. Oh,
You missed
he's
it.
going for the yellow cast. Ah.
We got him.
There we go. And now we get to start up Gamma. Gamma is a very interesting story because, what is it? I don't think it's actually one of the most popular. I know a lot of people who I talked to that used to run Gamma said that they really enjoyed it. But it's weird because at first you find Gamma's movement to be fairly clunky, but it's like he's got a lot of precise stuff and a lot of stuff that you can't really buffer jumps or you can't really press buttons too early or else it can, you'll see that in Emerald Coast when you're jumping through the pillars. But the big scare tactic, I guess you could say, to this story is at the end there's a trick known as early shot, where it's frame perfect. You press B on a certain frame, and you get a free shot on Beta Mark II, and Sometimes it determines whether or not you PB or not. It's the same crap in Amy's story with the RNG doors, where you could be playing out of your mind, and then you get to the end of the run, and it's over.
Oh, Gamma Story. Sorry. Sorry, I'm really janked out right now. So we're gonna go to Emerald Coast. And you can do some things called pillar jumps. Pillar jumps are kind of hard to get. They're kind of precise. Overall, it's not super hard.
He's opting to do it in free cam. Whoa. We'll see. Oh,
that also makes it a bit harder.
Yeah, he got on them. So he got the jumps. There are some. You can definitely go a lot faster on them, which is where it causes a lot of issues and kills a lot of runs. Or if you press the button.
A lot of runs, but it's super easy in auto cam. Because the camera, you don't have to actually manipulate the camera yourself. The camera will just do it for you.
But now what we're gonna do here is the goal is gonna be to trigger the cutscene with Amy, because you can't skip that. It's one of those flags in the game that we've been talking about. You skip it, your game is soft locked, runs over. So we have to go in and we have to talk to Amy, and then we get the hover, and that's where similar, like I briefly mentioned in Sonic's story that he has a glitched route. Well, Gamma has a glitched route as well, but it's actually faster. Because
it's actually faster.
Yeah. Like
you don't have to walk around all over the place.
Yeah, Gamma's a really slow gamer, so it's really good to be able to skip it and do all of his missions in the trial menu. Which you'll see. It's easier to see what he actually does when he does it, rather than explain it. Especially with Glitch Drought.
I'm gonna go message Seraphim. Oh, hold up, let me explain this trick. So basically, once you get the hover, you're able to do a clip through a wall.
Ooh.
It's a little bit janky, it's a little bit random, but you clip through a wall, you enter the loading zone for Hot Shelter. And we'll explain Glitch Route in a bit.
So you're going to want to do at the beginning is go into this corner. Oh, but she missed it. Because you kind of want to get wedged through, there we go, in between the little light that's on the wall. And then you hold away from the wall and you just clip out. And then you're going to fly over here.
You're going to fly through some walls that don't exist.
And you skip like the turntable section that Amy has, and you don't have to deal with that.
Right here, we're just gonna clip out of bounds. It's kind of a bit. You gotta have a precise angle, but pretty easy to clip out after. What is this trick called again?
Wall run.
Wall run.
Yeah. So it can be really tricky. It can be one of those tricks where sometimes you get a first try every time. Sometimes it takes you a bunch of time. He was really close.
Angle, he was just going really early.
Oh, dang.
Oh, he got janked. Okay, he'll have to clip back and bounce. But can he even clip back and bounce? Okay. So, you're supposed to jump there, and then fly through a wall, and you have to do it, like, a precise way, too. And then you can just fly straight to the boss. It
seems that Refrag's been having some controller issues and stuff as well, so it's very difficult to get those, dealing with the game, because the game likes to drop inputs as well, dealing with that, and dealing with hardware issues.
That's the really jank clip-in. You can't actually just go through the wall. You kinda have to shove yourself into this little spot in the ground, and then it clips you up. That's how I think of it. Jank. Point is, it's kinda tough. And it can kill runs.
And now, Glitch Route begins. We do a soft reset to go back to the main menu, and enter Gamma through trial menu, and then we can do his stages in reverse order. By starting with Red Mountain, which also has a big skip where we get lodged in there, neutral stick, and fall through the floor. And then just go to the end of the stage.
The glitch route is kind of part of a glitch called time trial glitch. And it's kind of jank. I don't know what it actually is.
Time trial glitch is when you can get characters and stages that they're not really meant to be in. Kind of like in 130 emblems, to get Gamma into Skydeck.
Which allows you to,
skip a Windy Valley emblem.
Is it the Windy Valley? I thought it was Red Mountain.
It could be. Actually, you're right. It's Red Mountain. But it's similar to that, where the trial menu is interesting, the way that it works. If there's any hope for a sequence break in this game, it's probably going to involve the trial menu. Okay. And then we go and we do Windy Valley, which has two different routes that you can do. There's an advanced route, and there's the easy route where you just hit the spring. And it looks like Refrag is opting to go for the advanced route. You gotta fly through here. Nice, and he gets it. That clip can actually be really jank sometimes, so it's really cool that he got it. I know I can't do it. Okay. Now that we're at that... Oh, excuse me. The goal for these bosses, which we forgot to mention during Red Mountain, is that you want to keep them on the ground. And if you shoot them when you're too far away, or if you shoot them at the wrong time, then they will fly up. And that's really slow, because that delays when they'll actually die. Now, since we're finished with the glitch route portion, kind of, we enter back into Gamma's adventure. Which we go, and we progress through the story normally. I guess kind of, because we have to go and we have to fight Sonic.
You have to... Yeah,
and then you'll see the interesting stuff. And unlike the other kind of mini character bosses, you don't really have to worry about hitting Sonic too fast as Gamma, because it's really it's really rare to actually get a phantom hit.
Yeah, you can most likely just spam this shoot button. Also, he went into the wall because it's faster to die there than to fall down. There's an earlier kill plan.
And we're approaching the end of the run, where early shot lies, which is the last actual part, other than because sometimes the boss that early shot is part of can go wrong, but that's not really. And fun fact, you actually see Red Mountain. The gate was open. However,
but
the monkey was still
through
there.
Because the loading zone doesn't activate till you hit the monkey.
Yes. There's your fun fact.
So basically, that's another flag.
Mm.
I'm just screwed over because it's funny.
Here it comes. The way the early shot works is there's kind of a timing where you don't want to start mashing too early, but it's like
there's a certain time frame. It's like, I don't know how many frames it is, but it's super precise and it's super dumb.
You didn't get it there. Let's see if he restarts.
Yeah, it's still faster to restart if you miss it. But then, you know, yeah, you got screwed over. So basically, what you want to do is, as soon as you get in there, what I do is, and hope for good luck. Because I don't know if it's frame perfect, but it's pretty close.
It's definitely frame perfect. I'm pretty sure somebody think it was Shane who tested it in Dolphin, but it's interesting. It's a dumb trick.
Oh, dang. I ripped my McDonald's receipt.
You'll never win Monopoly now.
There is no Monopoly anymore. Double Big Macs are so good. What do you usually have at McDonald's?
2 McDoubles.
Wait, is that actually what people do? Like, buy 2 McDoubles?
It's cheaper than a Big Mac, and it's more filling than a Big Mac. Although I love the taste of a Big Mac, it's expensive, and it's not filling.
Because, you know what? I saw my friend, while we were doing production stuff, and we were having our break. I just see him eat 2 McDoubles. It's crazy. I might actually do that. I might try that. That seems interesting.
Now, guys, the final. This is it. Supersonic
Supersonic sucks.
Refrag is actually the world record holder.
Yeah, you see, because I'm bad, and I thought I was good at this, but I'm not. As soon as I tried beating Refrag's time, which I've done before in like an hour, maybe 2.
You
I
realize...
just couldn't do it. Because the third super jump hates me. Now, anyway, we have to talk about super jumps. Most of the movement here is just moving from one place to the next. There is a cutscene skip involving jumping over to call here in this next cutscene coming up. It's kind of jank. Sometimes it doesn't work. Anyway.
Yeah.
Super jumps.
The super jumps, the premise behind how they work is you want to enter the phase when Perfect Chaos will fling you up to actually get the normal hit. But then if you hold back immediately on the controller, then you can just fling right up and hit Perfect Chaos.
I think you have to press jump. Oh wait, no, you
No,
don't.
you don't have to hit jump.
Is it really just holding back on the controller? Dang. It's pretty precise. And now it can just kill runs.
So, the way that you're going to want to move fast as Supersonic is you're going to want to hold A to... Oh, that was a clean hit. Did he get the first super jump? My apologies,
Yep.
I wasn't watching. Alright. We're seeing the master of Supersonic story at work. Did he get to call skip?
Yeah.
Aw, boys, this is the run.
This is not gonna be a world record. If it is, I'm gonna shoot myself. Sorry.
What the heck was that?
That happens to me all the time now. Like, I'm not even kidding. When I do that super jump, it just does that. And I hate it. This game sucks.
Alright. There you go. The redemption hit. Still a really great run. Like, that's unfortunate that the game janked him, but he's getting these super hits down.
I'm gonna have to look at the final time for this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get ready on time soon. There are 3 more hits left in the boss.
And timing ends on last hit.
Yeah, the last hit, like when the timer stops. Missed the super hit.
Oh, we're getting close to estimate.
What's the timer at right now?
1:48:51.
Plenty of time. Oh, I find that 5th hit to be the hardest one out of the 6.
Yeah, I agree. Although the 6th one's kind of hard.
any of them can kind of be jank sometimes. It all depends on
So
where the
this is
misses
the
are.
last hit. I'm pretty sure he has 11 rings, so if he screws this up, he might
Yeah.
might miss it. He might just barely though.
No!
He got janked. He's dead. And there you go.
Oh man, that's the heartbreaker.
And you have to start the whole boss fight over again. So that adds on like 2 minutes. So now we're gonna be really close to Espen.
Man, that's brutal.
Yeah, that's super brutal.
He's really good at that first hit. Like he was nailing that super hit. Like first try.
What?
Oh, that was interesting.
That was a noise, and I did not like it. It was loud. Wow.
Okay.
You know, oh, we gotta give Shane the 63 FPS mod. Oh, by the way, let's talk about frame rates. So
We had
in this
another
game,
Sky Cheats to talk about that.
oh, did we?
We had an empty Sky Chase where just nothing was happening.
We should have talked about that during Sky Chase. Now we can do it. Frame rates. So, for some reason, on Windows 7, the game runs at a variable frame rate of between 60 to 63. Most of the time, it averages out at 62. And then it's whatever in between there. So there was a mod made for Windows 10 because it didn't work on Windows 10. It didn't. You wouldn't get
Windows 10, you
the
get like
variable
anywhere between like 58 and maybe like 61, if you're lucky.
get that frame rate. So then, oh, get ready for time, by the way.
Yep, final hit.
Also,
This is actually a really good Perfect Chaos.
so yeah, there was a mod made to balance it out, and then just change.
Yeah. But in the end,
So-
it doesn't really matter because we have a frame counter. Okay, and
Yeah, pretty cool. Get ready.
time.
Time.
Do we really need that second time, Dage?
Yeah, we do. Necessary. Requirement.
Alright, Gaming Nation. That was a fun run. I'm your host. Wanna make your nose suit.
Please
And-
subscribe to Dage 4.
And
Sorry, don't.
before
Please
we
don't
sign
eat.
off, shoutouts to Ethmar, guys.
Shoutouts to Ethmar. Thanks for the run. I appreciate it.
Please subscribe to Dage 4.